The hardest part of being the quiet person is not being overlooked. It is watching other people's smaller version of you slowly become your life. You are sitting with friends when the conversation turns to something you understand well. You begin to speak. Someone talks over you. Nobody notices. A few minutes later, another person makes almost the same point. Everyone turns towards them. Exactly. And you sit there with a strange mixture of anger and embarrassment, wondering whether to say, "That is what I was trying to say." You do not. You smile, let the moment pass, and tell yourself it did not matter. But moments like that do matter. Repeated often enough, they decide who people listen to, who they remember, and how much of the real you they ever get to meet. This is not a video about becoming louder. It is about making your value visible without betraying the quiet part of you. Maybe a teacher wrote, "Needs to participate more," even though you understood everything. Maybe relatives spoke about you while you stood beside them. They're shy. They'll come out of their shell. As if your real personality were trapped somewhere inside, waiting to become louder. You learnt early that thinking privately did not count, knowing mattered less than announcing. So people began writing stories into your silence. Some decided you were nervous, others mistook your lack of performance for a lack of personality. The problem is that silence has no single meaning. It can mean thought, caution, respect, anxiety, disagreement, or simply, "I have nothing useful to add." But people dislike blank spaces. When you do not explain your silence, they explain it for you, and they usually choose the quickest story, not the truest one. This creates a visibility gap. Confidence is visible, thought is not. Speaking can be counted, listening cannot. Someone talks for 5 minutes, so everyone sees them participating. You may spend those minutes noticing the detail everyone else missed. But if that thought never leaves your head, nobody can respond to it. Research on group interaction suggests that people who speak more are often perceived as more influential, not because speaking proves ability, but because it is an easy signal. That is why a fast answer can look intelligent, while a careful answer arrives too late to receive the same credit. You are asking, "Is this actually true?" Someone else is asking, "Can I say this confidently?" By the time you are ready, the group has mistaken speed for certainty. Then the pattern feeds itself. The person who is noticed gets asked more questions and receives more chances to show what they know. You are asked less, so less of you becomes visible. Eventually, their first shallow guess appears to become true, not because you had less to offer, but because visibility created opportunity, and opportunity created more visibility. This is where being underestimated begins changing your life. A friend assumes you would not enjoy the invitation, so they stop asking. Someone you love reads your silence as indifference while you search for the sentence least likely to hurt them. People call you easygoing because you rarely interrupt, then forget to ask what you want. You become deeply known inside your own mind and strangely unknown everywhere else. But being underestimated has another side. When people do not see you as a threat, they stop managing the version of themselves they show you. They reveal who they admire, who they dismiss, and how quickly their principles change around status. While others compete to be noticed, you notice the competition itself. Quietness can give you information that performance hides. And sometimes one precise sentence can do what 10 noisy minutes could not. But there is a trap here. Quiet people sometimes comfort themselves with a flattering story. They underestimate me because I am deeper than them. Sometimes that is insight. Sometimes it is protection. If nobody sees what you can do, nobody can judge it. If you never share the idea, it cannot be rejected. If you remain the person with hidden potential, you never have to test that potential in public. Invisibility protects your self-image. But it also prevents your life from responding to who you really are. There are 2 kinds of quiet. Chosen quiet means you considered the moment and decided silence served you. Protective quiet means you wanted to speak, stopped yourself, and later replayed the sentence you wish you had said. One feels like control. The other feels like relief for 10 seconds, followed by hours of frustration. So ask yourself what happens after you stay silent. Do you feel aligned with your choice? Or do you hope somebody will somehow recognize the value you kept hidden? You do not need to become louder, you need to give your quietness a translation. Return to that conversation with your friends. You begin making your point and somebody cuts across you. Your old instinct says, leave it, it will be awkward to come back. This time, you wait for the sentence to end and say, I want to finish that thought. 5 words. No speech, no performance, no apology. You have not become louder. You have become legible. When the whole thought is not ready, leave a marker. There is another side to this. Give me a second, I have a thought. I'm not sure I agree yet. Each one says there is a mind here, come back. Then lead with the point. Quiet people often explain every step to earn the right to reach the conclusion. By then, attention has moved on. Say the point first. Then show people how you reached it. And if someone repeats what you said, do not disappear from your own contribution. You can say calmly, yes, that is the point I was making, the part I would add is. No accusation. No apology. Just a clear thread leading the conversation back to you. This may feel unnatural because you are breaking an old agreement. Other people could think out loud while you waited for certainty, then decide what your silence meant. That agreement was never fair. You can keep the pause that protects your judgment. You can keep the listening that shows you what others miss. You can keep the part of you that refuses to turn every conversation into a performance. But you do not have to keep the invisibility. Quiet people are often told to find their voice. But your voice was never missing. It was waiting for certainty, permission, and the perfect opening. Those things rarely arrive together. The change begins when you stop treating speech as proof that your thought is finished. Sometimes speech is simply how the world learns that your thought exists. So the next time you are at dinner, in a group chat with friends or inside a difficult conversation, notice the familiar pause. You do not need to destroy it. Just do not let somebody else build a permanent story inside it. Say the first honest sentence. Let it be imperfect. Let people adjust their picture of you. You do not need to fill every silence. You only need to stop letting every silence speak for you.